Hello and welcome to this short Cegal how-to video. This video will feature a demonstration of how to create an investigation within the Blueback Investigator plugin for Petrel. Blueback Investigator is a powerful cross-domain data analysis plugin for Petrel which allows you to bring well, seismic, grids, surfaces, point sets and tables into a single analysis space. Blueback Investigator adds 5 new powerful data analysis windows into Petrel to provide a very rich data analysis experience. At the heart of all Blueback Investigator workflows is the investigation object that resides in the Petrel input tree. To generate any plots in Blueback Investigator, firstly an investigation must be built. The desired Petrel data is indexed into an investigation at the start of any data analysis workflow, and once created, the investigation can be quickly and efficiently shared between many data analysis windows. The investigation object also acts as a central repository for equations, filters and display settings. It is possible to build many different types of investigation that consume different data types. Investigations can of course be edited to add or remove data at any time. I'll now quickly work through some examples of how to build an investigation and plot the data. We will run one example with seismic data and one with well data. Please note this recording has been made with Petrel 2013 and Blueback Investigator version 3.1. The workflows you will see are also currently supported on Petrel 2014 and will be supported on Petrel 2015 once it's released. Please be sure to watch further how-to videos that cover onward data analysis workflows once the investigation is built and the data plotted. So the first way to create an investigation is come to Insert, New Blueback GDI Investigation. This opens the investigation panel to the Data Load tab. It's also added an investigation object to the bottom of the Blueback Investigation folder. To bring data in, we click to add a dataset. So you can quickly see all the different data types that you can bring into an investigation for analysis. In this example, we're going to choose a well. And from the selection here, we can choose a particular well for investigation. We then need to bring dimensions into the investigation, which in this case equate to well logs. So dimension 1 is going to be my porosity log. I can then click here to add in more continuous dimensions. Click twice, and I'm going to bring my gamma and my permeability logs. I can also add discrete dimensions, in this case a fasces log, and I can also add spatial dimensions, which in this case we will choose depth. I can also add additional data into this investigation, so I can choose a well folder. This allows me to choose wells by folder and then just run through and pick up this corresponding logs, so porosity, permeability, gamma, depth and fasces. I can click OK to index this data into this investigation object. The investigation can be double clicked to reopen, and as I mentioned, data can be added or removed at any time. So the quickest way to plot this data is to right click on the investigation object and choose which window you wish to display it in this case a crossplot. So here we have a crossplot of porosity versus gamma. We can swap between any of the dimensions we've brought in, so I can change my vertical axis to be permeability, for example. I can choose to colour the data by any of the dimensions we brought in, so gamma or fasces. I can choose to add in a legend, a colour bar, and horizontal and vertical histograms, which can be controlled with the splitters. I can control the way the data looks by the context of a point in the plot. So choose my point symbol to be a box, for example, and choose the point size to be smaller. I can also quickly add in any selections. So I can add a filter, a rectangle filter, select some data, and through the add equation, I can add a static exponential line as a function of x. Again, through the data control tree, I can control everything in the plot. So I can turn off my selection, and then from the context for the exponential fit, set the color to be black, choose to show the equation on the line, and also choose to show the errors. Equations can of course also be controlled by the context menu in the plot, and I can save it as a user-defined equation, so open up the coefficients and edit them, or indeed push it out to a Petrel function. So that was a very quick example of how to create an investigation and plot the data. So I can of course push this investigation to additional plots. Again, right click, I can push this into a matrix plot, which allows me to plot all dimensions against each other. So you can control matrix plots by show dimension data. I can remove depth, color by gamma, and choose to turn on the histograms. So this gives me a plot of porosity permeability gamma against porosity permeability gamma. You can double click these viewports to open them to standalone crossplot, and double click to return to the matrix plot. So I can also push this investigation into a histogram window by right clicking, push to histogram, turn on my statistics, split the data out by fasces. So we have our individual porosity distributions by fasces. We can control which data we want displayed in the plot by swapping to permeability, for example. We can also turn on our cumulative distribution functions, which can also be exported to a Petrel function via the context menu for the CDF in the plot. So that was a very quick example of how to create an investigation using some well data. So we're going to run a new workflow using some seismic data. I'm going to open the investigation object by toggling here this time from my quick access toolbar. Again, that takes us to the data panel. I'm going to choose to bring in some seismic data. So the first selection we have to make here is to choose the geometry. So I'm going to pick a volume to define the geometry. All additional dimensions need to tie in with this geometry or lattice. So dimension 1 is going to be my near angle stack. I'm going to choose to add 3 more continuous dimensions. The other way to add data here is to use the blue arrow to drop data in. So if I open up my seismic folder, I can choose my mid and my far volume, or I can come to the drop down. In this case, I want to choose my AVO class in addition. So we're just going to reduce the decimation here. Click OK to load the data. Again, this has been added as an additional investigation at the bottom of the tree. So again, the quickest way to plot this data is to right click on the investigation object, push it into a matrix window in this case. This gives us a plot of all dimensions we've loaded against each other. So near, mid, far and AVO class against near, mid, far and AVO class. I'm just going to remove the AVO class from the matrix plot, choose to color the data by AVO class, choose to add in my histograms. Then we can use the filters to start to select some of these perhaps more anomalous points. With the selection made here in this plot, the corresponding points are also highlighted in the additional matrix port windows. So that was a very quick example of creating an investigation using some seismic data and then quickly plotting it in a matrix plot. Please be sure to watch the accompanying videos of how to create an investigation using a spatial selector. If you would like to take an evaluation of this product, please contact us on sales.geo@cegal.com, or if you have some support questions, it's support.geo@cegal.com. Thank you very much for watching this video.